Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys again. Always chanting, I love it. This is a special edition interview, and that's because I actually have this gentleman here that's gonna go ahead and do me the favor of interviewing me, and he doesn't really know me, so anything he asks is official, it's truth, and just know that this is not fake, all right? So
I don't think you can fake the fact that I have no script.
that's true.
Or the fact that he couldn't even remember my name. So I'm Danel Mode. I'll be interviewing our friend here. So you've had this YouTube channel for how long?
Now it's been 2 years and a half.
2 years?
Yeah.
How many followers do you have now?
1,240.
Yeah. So you've started to accumulate a snowball.
Yeah, it's a snowball effect. It's growing and growing, which I love because I want to impact the people out there, you know, impact them in a positive way. And hopefully I would get to the point where I could literally tell them how to get out of a situation, because there's nothing more than I would love than that, you know.
So what's your most relative situation that you've been in? What do you have the most experience when it comes to situations?
That's hip replacement, broken leg, broken arm, and not all the time, but when people do ask and I see their mark, I'm like, whoa. So it was like, we're rare breed, but there is people that exist that have the trig mark, and the trig mark is just the scar of when you had the breathing tube. So
What was your biggest accident?
the biggest accident was in 2013. That's the one I'm still in the walker from. That's the one that literally I was almost pronounced dead at the scene, but luckily God had the last word and I'm still here on earth.
So you brought it up. So let's go into that. When did you get introduced to God?
Honestly, I had been introduced to God way back in the day when I was young, because I remember my dad, he was super dedicated. He would put us on our knees and we would literally sit there and pray to God, and he taught us the Hail Mary. From there he taught us a lot of different prayers, and we would always get on our knees, pray. We would turn on some candles, and we would just be right there in a corner, and it'd be me, my siblings, and my mom, and we would all just sit there, pray, and this was a nightly thing. Every night we would have to do this, and it got to the point where addiction took over his life, and that drifts into evil right there. But addiction ended up taking over his life, and that's the reason he's not with us here today.
Do you have a battle with addiction or just secondhand?
I know, you know, I could feel in my heart, and a lot of people say, like, no, genetics doesn't exist. They say, you know, everybody's self-will. But me being from a family of addiction, because I have an uncle that passed away because he was intoxicated and he crashed in the freeway. Then I got my dad that I lost, and he pretty much lost his family and his loved ones over giving into alcohol. And then there's my other cousin that he lives in El Salvador, but he battles addiction too as far as alcohol. So I mean, it's a strong addiction in the Portillo side. That's my last name, and that's why everything that comes in my path, as far as marijuana, as far as alcohol, as far as pornography, as far as masturbation. I'm sorry that's deep, but it's true. As far as those things, I feel it's an addiction. You know, I feel it. And if anything, I've grabbed all those subjects and I love it because I merged it into one, which is the gym. And now I just release everything at the gym, the endorsements, you know, the feeling of wanting to do anything inappropriate to myself. And at the same time, I'm working on my goals. So I'm loving it. I'm feeling more fit. I'm feeling more driven and more closer to my goals.
So do you have friends and family that drive you towards those goals, or is it self-driven? Are you doing this on your own?
Honestly, I feel it's a lot self-driven. So most of the time, I get back from the gym, you know, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling yoked. I'm feeling in shape, and and a lot of the times, um, I'm telling my sister, you know, I'm telling her like, oh yeah, I just got back from the gym. Look, I'm feeling toned and everything. She's like, yeah, like she's over it, you know. And but I never hear like, hey, you're looking better, you're looking thinner or nothing, you know. I'm the type of person that I've learned that the type of personality that I have is the type that I love when people support me in any kind of way, even if it's just like, hey, your smile looks nice today. You know, it's not even that nobody says that, but they would say that. You know, you just that would change my day and make me feel like I appreciate that. He just made my day saying that. You know, and it's, I don't know. It feels. I guess it feels better to be appreciated than not to be acknowledged at all.
It's better to be appreciated than not acknowledged at all. Would you say that it's better to be not acknowledged at all than underappreciated?
Not acknowledged at all, but underappreciated.
See, we drive to have some sort of mark. We want to exist. We want people to notice us. So, like you just said, you want to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be appreciated. But is it better to not be noticed at all than be pushed down or said, oh, it doesn't matter? You know, a lot of people would rather be invisible. And, you know, we have a YouTube, I don't have anything, but you have a YouTube channel, you're an influencer, you have people that follow you.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people that are on the other side who comment, you know, what about the ones that are invisible? Do you think that it's better to be invisible than have everybody bash you for stuff that not even existent? Because as a YouTuber, you get attacked by all sorts of things.
That's right, and that's a lot, 100% true.
So, my question again, is it better to be bashed or underappreciated than be invisible?
That's a good point. So I guess being underappreciated is way better than not being noticed at all.
Yeah.
Being a nobody.
Well, you're somebody. So, you belong to a community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh yeah, something that has helped me out a lot, and it's because it helps with worship, and it helps enter God more into my life. and the reason for that is because we meet up at 6 o'clock in the morning. We worship, you know. And if there's nothing better than that feeling, because you're giving it all to God. You know, you're giving it all. That's all we could give Him. At least worship. You know, we give it all to God in that moment. And then from there, we end up walking to a restaurant, which is literally right steps away. We walk in there, Black Bear Diner.
I don't think the diner needs to be named, but sure. Yeah, Black Bear Diner.
Oh, well, yeah. But regardless, we sit around the table and we talk about, you know, our experiences with God, as far as positive ones, negative ones, and prayers that we need in the moment. And anybody that needs prayers too. And we see prayers get answered literally on the weekly, on the monthly, and it's just miracles right in front of our face, as far as, you know, the way God works. And as we speak, I can feel Him working our mind to get to my walking. And there's nothing more than I would want than that, but it's in God's timing.
When you are walking again, is God going to get the glory, or is it going to be forgotten? Because a lot of Christians and people who claim to be spiritual in general tend to say, my blessing's coming, but once they get their blessing, they forget about it. Do you feel like this is one of those things that God is prolonging for you to suffer through in order for you to remember it and make it a significant moment in your life?
Definitely that, because as we speak on my YouTube channel, I always enter God into my talks, because He's the one that has me here since the get-go. And that's what I always talk about to everybody, that doctors they just know as far as science lets them know, but God is always the one that has the last word. God pretty much is the reason why I'm still talking, why I'm still coughing, blinking, doing everything that the doctor said I wasn't going to be able to do. They even said at a point I was going to be a vegetable. I proved them wrong there too. I'm over here, as you see me. I'm fit. I'm going to the gym every day, working on myself and getting closer to walking. And once I do end up walking, I do want to go back to the hospital where I was at so I could get my miracle picture, because everybody has a miracle picture I heard of that was pronounced dead and came back. So I still need that picture because I haven't forgotten. And God's always glory to God, no matter what. For me, it's always God first. And even like I say, no matter how far my YouTube channel gets, or no matter how far I get in life, I'm always going to be pointing up towards God, because He's the one that always comes before anything and anybody in my life.
So who are the people in your life?
The people in my life are, the top is my mom. From there is my sister. And I mean, I have different reasons for loving each of them, that they've been there throughout my recovery and what they've done. But I do, yeah, like I was saying, I do have my mom, my sister, my brother, uh, and then from there, I feel like it's just a little bit of other people here and there that support me, but they're just like, little prayers or little voices that I don't really know. They're supporting me, but they're there, you know.
Yeah. And you have a lot of them in of that group that you were speaking of that pray over you daily. And so you brought up your sister. She normally picks on you about, oh, she's over it. What about your mother and your brother? Are they kind of over it too, or are they supportive?
Mm-mm. Well, my brother, he's always laughing at me, making fun of me and stuff. And as we speak, he makes fun of me because he says that the whole look like Logan, like Wolverine thing sounds kiddish. And yeah, it does. I'm not gonna lie, it is kind of kiddish, but that has always been my childhood hero, him and the Hulk. I love those two characters. And I don't know, after that movie Deadpool versus Wolverine came out, in that scene, I mean, if anybody that checked out my other video, you'll see that. But in that scene that came out, uh, ever since I saw that, I mean, I want the same abs and everything. And I feel that once I do officially have them, that I feel like I'm gonna, that with my accomplishment, because I would feel glad and I'll feel accomplished. But at that point, I think he would stare at me and just be like, "Dang, he was able to do it." And I think he would probably be proud of me, because he'd be like, he always stands behind what he says he's gonna do. Yeah.
So you consider yourself a man who does what he says.
Oh yeah.
You keep your promise no matter what.
Yeah, and that goes back to my dad. I remember at one time, I forgot what I had done, but he ended up spanking me. He hit me like 6 times with the belt, 6 or 7. And at that point, I was crying a river. And it was about 15 minutes in where he comes back, and everybody gets that guilty feeling, once you hurt somebody, once you do something to someone, even say something, you can't take back, and that's what hurts the most. But at this point, I'm pretty sure he regretted it, and he came back up to me. He said, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I hit you way too much. I shouldn't have lost my temper with you like that. I'm really, really sorry, and I promise I'm never gonna hit you again." And literally, he didn't touch me once again. So after I noticed his actions and been like, he never spanked me again after he promised that he was never gonna do it again. A promise has always been sacred to me. So anything that I promise, I'm gonna complete. And that's because it's sacred to me, because it reminds me of my dad.
Well, it also reminds you of your Heavenly Father.
Oh yeah.
Anything He promised throughout the whole Bible, He'll complete.
Yeah.
And we are a finished work in Jesus Christ. So, we already know that your recovery is on its way.
The breaking point's coming. I feel it. And
well, don't say breaking point. We don't need anything else breaking.
well, that's true. We don't need nothing else breaking, but especially after all the occasions and situations. But we do need some positiveness and some blessings coming my way.
You have one coming your way. I see full healing. Not I feel a little bit better today, but being able to get out of your bed and not needing your walker and still going to the gym. That walker might be motivation, but in the end, you have to find a different motivation than just this injury to go to the gym. You have followers that are constantly checking in on you. You know, once you get fully recovered, you're going to stay with your YouTube, right?
Of course. Yeah, of course. I got to stay consistent, especially if it starts, picking up, if it starts getting more views. And I actually see a positive impact that is getting more than 100+ views. Just that little bit of views. I say little bit because top YouTubers have like 27,000 and up. But I mean, me, I'm just happy with my 10. I'm like, those are my 10 people. Those are my 10 people that I need to follow.
Those are your 10 people. So I'm going to stump you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'll pause that way. If you need to delete this, you can. Now, who is your first subscriber?
I do not know because I don't want myself. I was my first subscriber.
Well, that's not a good look.
Oh no, you always got to support yourself and whatever you're doing. If it's a business, if it's your YouTube channel, if it's fitness.
If it's your business, you want to buy your own products. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
So your first subscriber was you.
Yeah.
You had to watch your own video, make sure it was good, because if it wasn't good, nobody was going to watch it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Your first subscriber was you.
Yeah.
Do you have any family that subscribed to you?
That I know of, I believe my sister is subscribed. My mom is because she had to be.
Well, then, hi, Mom. Hi, sister.
I subscribed for her. I know my niece did, which I had started a YouTube channel for her, but some complications happened, so we didn't continue it. But I'm continuing mine because I want people to hear my story and I want them to see into my journey and know that it's nothing, it's fake, that everything they do is real, is legit. And as we speak, I've seen YouTubers use so much side effects, so much AI technology and stuff to try to make the video so hype. As I'm talking about is Mr. Beast. Everybody's talking about that his content's fake.
Oh, don't bring his name up. You're going to have 50,000 people now commenting. He said his name.
True.
Clickbait. Nah, Mr. Beast has a lot of interviews, and he has a lot of different interviews throughout his life. And you can see that a lot of the things that he said when he was a lot younger may have adjusted. I want to say changed because everybody matures. Yeah. What is one statement that you've had since the beginning of your YouTube channel that will never change?
Never stop believing.
Never stop believing. Never stop believing in what?
In anything. Yourself, God mainly. That's the first right there. Believe in God. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. It goes with everything you believe in and anything you think you can't achieve. It's never stop believing. You could.
So you came up in a primary Christian family?
Yes.
So did you ever have a point in your life where you fell away?
Oh yeah, a lot, various of times.
What were the vices that you ended up falling into?
The vices as far as like addictions, or
if addiction stopped you from talking to God, if you got a girlfriend that got you to stop talking to God, what were the things that pulled you away from your relationship with God?
It's crazy how evil works because it started with me doing inappropriate things to myself, and I always knew God was real. I believed in Him, but He was in the background.
So lust was the first thing?
Lust was the very first thing. The demon of lust attacked me. Very first thing right off the bat.
Because saying inappropriate things to yourself doesn't specify the fact that it was most likely an attraction, right?
No, so, not saying inappropriate things, but it was like doing.
Yeah.
As far as my actions. Yeah, so.
And actions follow thoughts. So whether it was an attraction to a woman, whether it was just curiosity, you fell into a trap, and that ended up starting a railroad from where you were, right?
Yeah.